Okay, so propositions. Okay, so we have actually four like types of or four propositions that are really common in English. So actually we have number one is in, at, on, in, by. Okay, so we are going to talk about like prepositions in four items like. Okay, so the first item actually it is, we'll talk about transportation. Okay, so this is number one, transportation. The second one actually it is location. Number three, time. Okay, so these are the four items or the four things we are going to talk about. Okay, so first let's talk about like, for example, transportation. So can we use, for example, at with transportation? No. That's why we'll put just dots. So we don't use actually at with transportation. We don't use at with transportation. Okay, this is like number one. Okay, so actually we don't use at with transportation. Okay, this is number one. On actually, when we talk about something, that is like, for example, general. For example, when we say, for example, I am on the car. Oh, sorry, on the bus, for example. On the train. On the plane. On the boat. Okay. So when we talk about something that is general and it is not like for us, we use, for example, on. For example, I am on the bus. Okay, يعني أنا في الباص. ما أقول I am in the bus. أقول I am on the bus. I am on the bus. I am on the train. I am on the train. I am on the plane. أنا في الطائرة. I am on the plane. Okay. في القارب I am on the boat. I am on the boat. Okay. طيب then when you talk about something that is general and it has a lot of seats لأنه أيضا في مثلا ما تصل إلى الموقع مكانك بسهولة لأنه عام. الباص عندما تركب الباص ما توصل إلى المكان بسهولة، يعني تحتاج إنك تمشي وتمر ما بين الركاب وعندك ناس بتقول I am on the bus. The train نفس الشيء, the plane نفس الشيء, and also the boat. طيب in ما من نستخدمها for example مع الcar مثلا I am in the car. Alright, I am in the car. I am in the taxi. I am in the taxi. Okay, so number one, car, actually it is easy to get your seat. سهل إنك تصل إلى المقعد اللي أنت تريد. تقول I am in the car. And also when you talk about something that is yours, لو هي ملكك يعني. أي شيء ملكك حقك ممكن تستخدم in. تقول I am in the car. I am in the taxi. أو تتكلم عن شيء سهل إنك تصل إلى المقعد أو الكرسي. Okay. Car. It has only maybe 3 seats or 2 seats. Okay. But actually when we say I am on the bus, I am on the train, I am on the plane, I am on the boat. But actually I am in the car. I am in the taxi. طيب اللي عنده طيارة خاصة يقول I am on the plane ولا in the plane؟ المفروض يقول I am in the plane لأني تبعه. لكن مثلا تركب مع العام و public transportation وسائل النقل العامة زي مثلا the bus, the train, the plane, the boat تستخدم on. I am on the bus. I am on the train. I am on the plane. I am on the boat. نفس الكلام مثلا السيارة والتاكسي تستخدم معاهن in لأنه it is yours and it is easy to find your seat. تقول I am in the car. I am in the taxi. طيب الباي هذا نستخدمها إذا تريد تتكلم عن الطريقة أو الوسيلة في transportation أقصد. أوكي. إذا تريد مثلا تتكلم عن الباي في transportation وسائل النقل you can use it by, for example, by a bus, by the train, by a taxi, and so on. Okay. For example, how did you come to the school? Okay. I come by the train. I come by the train. I come by the taxi. I come by the car. I come by the car. Okay, and so on. Okay. اوكي اذا مع وسائل النقل بشكل عام هي الات اولا ما تستخدم مع وسائل النقل. ما اقدر اقول I am at the taxi ولا I am at the plane. خطأ. هذا واحد. اثنين الآن نستخدمها مع الاشياء اللي عامة كثيرة وفيها كراسي كثيرة ومن الصعب الوصول الى المقعد بسهولة. نستخدم I am on the bus. I am on the train. I am on the plane. I am on the boat. إن نستخدمها مع الاشياء او الاشياء اللي نمتلكها نحن أو مثلا المواصلات أو وسائل النقل اللي تكون سهلة الوصول إلى المقعد الكرسي. نقول I am in the car, I am in the taxi. If you have a private plane or boat or whatever, so you can say I am in the plane, I am in the plane. طيب by نتكلم عن الوسيلة أو الطريقة. How did you come here? How did you come to here? I came by a car. I came by a taxi. I came by a plane, by a train, whatever. الوسيلة. Okay, so this is actually number one. This is actually number one. Okay, so this is number one. So if you want to talk about transportation, you can use in, on, at, or by, but actually it depends on the use. Now let's move to, like, for example, location. عندما تصف موقع. Okay, مو وسائل نقل سيارة طيارة. Location. Okay, let's have a look here. So At actually it is like this, for example. Something that is really exact. When you describe something that is exact, you can use, for example, at. You can use, for example, at. For example, I am at, for example, at home. So actually you describe something that is exact, تحديدا. So we use, for example, at to talk about a very specific location, a very specific location. Okay, so when we say, for example, at school. Okay, so this one actually it is exact. You talk about something that is exact. You can say I am at home right now. So you are talking about exact actually place, exact, for example, place. Okay, this is number one. Number two, actually it is, let me just draw like something here. Okay. This one is on actually. So on means when you talk about something that is over something. On. Ala. On. Ala. On. For example, on the table. On the table. Okay, for example, at when you talk about something that is exact. I am at home, I am at school. On when you talk about the surface like سطح. على فوق. على. فتقول I am, for example, the K is on the table. The K's are on the table. Okay, on the chair, on the desk, on something. Okay, this is actually what it means. So on معناها على. Okay, so number two, actually it is N. Let me just, if I can draw. For example, this is number one. This is number one. Okay, so this is actually N. N means you describe something that is inside, like in. So N actually you describe something that is inside. Okay, for example, and also you can't see it. You can't see it. So you use, for example, N. For example, in the bag. In the bag, so you can't see it. You can't see it. It is inside the bag. In the bag. In the bag. Okay. So where is the K? It is on the table, so you can see it and touch it also. But actually, where is the K's? They are in the box. They are in the bag. They are in the bag, for example, bag, whatever. Or in the backpack, for example. So in means inside and you can't see. إذن الأون معناها على والإن داخل في. يعني عندما تصف الإن ما تستطيع ترى الشيء. فتقول where is the, for example, the K, it is in the bag يعني داخل الشنطة. داخل، لكن on معناها على سطح. طيب هذه واضحة. What about by? Okay, let me just draw here. By, it is like this one. It is like a building here. And also here also is another building. Okay, and it is here, for example, okay. This is number 1. And this is number 2. Yeah, by means close to, close to. Okay, so it is like close. So when we say, for example, by your house or by something, by the house. By the house means near, for example, the house. It means like, for example, near. Okay, so for example, I am by your house. By means close to. So if there are 2 buildings, actually, لو في ثنتين عمائر مثلا جنب جنب نقول by. Okay, so by as a location. إذا تريد تستخدم الباي في وصف اللوكيشن الموقع ممكن تصف بمعنى إنها close. Okay, you can say, for example, by the building, by the school, by the hospital means close to, قريب من. Okay, this is actually location. This is actually location. إذا الآت إذا تريد توصف موقع to describe something that is exact بالضبط يعني. I am at Wi-Fi restaurant تحديدا. On إذا تريد توصف شيء على شيء. تقول مثلا the cake is on the table. In إذا تريد توصف شيء داخل and you can't see it. You can say in the bag. In the bag. اللوكيشن بالنسبة لباي إذا تريد توصف شيء قريب من يعني قريب من شيء آخر. تقول for example this house is by that house, or this house is by this house, or the clinic is by the school. بالقرب من يعني close to the house, close to the house. Okay, let me. So now we will move to act like, for example, in time. Time actually, which is really short. So you just write, for example, like when it is like, for example, short time, short. Okay, for example, you say like, for example, minutes or hours. Minutes or hours. Use at. Okay, so for example, at 7, for example, 7 a.m. At 7 a.m. exact. So when you talk about a short time or like, for example, exact time, so we use at. We use at. Okay, this is like number 1. So for example, I get up at 7 o'clock. I get up at 7 o'clock. Okay, this is actually number 1. Okay, what about on? Can we use it, for example, on? Yeah, we can use actually on with not very exact, for example, time, but actually we can use it for like, for example, days and so on. So for example, with days, we can use with days, we use, for example, on, and also with holidays. Okay, for example, we can say on Monday. On Monday. Okay, on Monday, on Tuesday. Or on like any day, on Friday. Okay, and also when you talk about, for example, a holiday, You may say, for example, on any types of holiday, like on Labor's Day, Eid al-Umman. Okay, on Christmas. The same. Also, you can use, for example, on. You can use on. So we can say, as I told you, on Labor's Day, Eid al-Umman. Or on Christmas Day. Okay, في عيد Christmas, also the same. We use on with holidays or days. With holidays and or days. Okay, what about an N actually for a long period of time? Something that is general. General. And also long period. Okay, just when you talk about long period, for example. عندما تتحدث عن فترة طويلة أطول من اليوم وأطول من الدقيقة والساعة. For example, with months and actually years. Okay, so with months and years, you can use, for example, like in. For example, in January or in March, in 2002. Also, when you talk about something that is too, like not general, for example, it is not specific. For example, general. When you say, for example, in the morning في الصباح، عندما نقول in the morning أصلا مو مخصص. in the morning في الصباح من بعد المنتصف الليل، يعني الساعة 1 بعد المنتصف، يعني قدر صباحا إلى قبل الظهر، هذا كله in the morning، فمو محدد. نفس الكلام in the afternoon، من بعد الظهر لا قبل المغرب in the afternoon. in the evening من 7 وقبل 10، هذا كله in the evening، فمو محدد. إذا تريد توصف فترة مو محددة use in, for example, general. طيب آخر شيء by when you talk about the end of the time. End of the time. When you talk about actually the end of the time، نهاية الفترة الزمنية، تستخدم by. مثلا you need to come by tomorrow. You need to come by tomorrow. يعني tomorrow is the last day. آخر يوم بكرة. By Monday يعني Monday آخر يوم. By, for example, by March. اوكي، معناها انه مارتش اخر يعني شهر، وهكذا. فباي نستخدمها عندما نتكلم على نهاية الفترة الزمنية، على نهاية الفترة الزمنية. إذا في 4 استخدامات لآت وأون وإن وباي. أحيانا نستخدمها مع الترانسبورتيشن اللي هي وسائل النقل. نقول مثلا ما نستطيع نستخدم آت مع الترانسبورتيشن، يعني ما نقدر نقول I am at the taxi، خطأ. هذا واحد. طيب on نستطيع، بس مع الأشياء العامة. Or for example, I am on the bus, I am on the train, I am on the plane, I am on the boat. اوكي. طيب وين ان مع الاشياء الخاصه، شيء خاصه فيك او شيء تستطيع تدخل او تصل الى الكرسي او المقعد بشكل سريع. تقول I am in the car, I am in the taxi. وقلنا مثلا لو تتكلم عن شيء خاص بك تستخدم ان، يعني لو عندك طياره خاصه تقول I am in the plane. I am in the boat لو عندك قارب خاص فيك. لكن تشارك مع الناس كلهم تقول I am on the bus، لأنه أنت الباص مو لحالك. I am on the train، ما راح تركب لحالك، أنت مع الناس. I am on the plane، نفس الشيء، ما أنت لحالك، مع الناس. أوكي، هذا الاستخدام. وباي قلنا عندما تتكلم عن الوسيلة، أنا جيت بواسطة by the car, by the train, by the taxi. هذا من حيث الترانسبورتيشن. طيب نفس البريبوزيشنز البريبوزيشن نستخدمها مع اللوكيشن. فنقول مثلا I am at home حاجة تحديدا. Where are you now? I am at home. تريد توصف شيء على شيء تستخدم on. For example, the keys are on the table. هذا مع اللوكيشن. تريد توصف شيء داخل تقول in. I am in or the key is in, for example, the bag or in the box. by شيء قريب من شيء كلوكيشن. مثلا المدرسة قريبة من البيت تقول for example the school is by the house. is by the house يعني بالقريبة قريبة من المنزل. آخر شيء نستخدم at و on و in و by مع الأوقات. فإذا تريد تتكلم عن short period of time وقت زمني قصير جدا ومحدد تحديدا زي minutes والhours تستخدم at. I wake up at 7 o'clock. I wake up at, for example, at any time that you want. طيب in between days actually it is less general. ليست عامة كثيرا. On Monday, on Friday, on Labor's Day عيد العمال أو on Christmas Day مع الإجازات. طيب in general long period فترة طويلة وأيضا غير عامة كثيرة. تقول for example in January. January actually it has 30 days وكل يوم فيها 24 ساعة فهو عام. مثلا in 2002 actually it is not specific like at 7 o'clock. It is much more general عامة. فنقول مثلا in January, in February, in March, April and so on. طيب by إذا تريد تستخدمها أيضا مع الوقت تعبر عن نهاية الفترة الزمنية. يعني مثلا لازم يعني تأتي لابد أن تأتي غدا. يعني خلاص غدا آخر يوم. تقول you need to come by tomorrow. You need to come by tomorrow. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, teacher.